Hi student, in the last class we studied about the transmission line equation, and in today's lecture we will study about the reflection coefficient of a transmission line. So we know the voltage equation of a transmission line, that is V of x of t is equal to V plus e raised to minus gamma x plus V minus e raised to plus gamma x. Also, the equation for the current can be written as in a similar way like that of a voltage equation, that is current equation is I of x of t is equal to I plus e raised to minus gamma x plus I minus e raised to plus gamma x. So here we are talking about the peak and RMS values of the voltage and current. We are not talking about the instantaneous values. So in the case of a transmission line, there are two things in a transmission line. One is moving near to the transmission line, which is moving near to the generator. This is a transmission line model, and here at one side we are putting a source, that is generator. In the other side we are showing a load, that is by using the ZL. So there are two things in a transmission line. One is moving near to the generator, that is this side moving near to the generator, and the other case is that moving near to the load. That is moving near to the load means the transmission line which is flowing in this or moving in this direction near to the load, and when the transmission line is moving near to the generator, it is like this in this direction. So in the next step I want to find out the relation between the voltage and current in a transmission line. And how you find out the relation between the voltage and current? We know the relation for characteristics impedance. The characteristics impedance Z0 is find out by using this relation. Z0 is equal to V plus divided by I plus in the case of plus Z0, and in the case of minus Z0 it is V minus divided by I minus. So substitute these values in the equation of current, that is I of x of t. Then we can write I of x of t is equal to, in the place of I plus, we can write V plus divided by Z0 is I plus. So in the place of I plus we are putting this value, and in the place of this I minus, here we are putting this V minus divided by minus Z0. So the equation is I of x of t is equal to V plus divided by Z0 into e raised to minus gamma x minus V minus divided by Z0 e raised to plus gamma x. So in the case of a traveling wave, it has two components. One is the traveling wave which is moving forward direction, and second one is the traveling wave which is moving backward direction. Here also in the case of a current wave we are using the same thing. So next, to find out the ratio of voltage and current, we know the ratio of voltage and current is, we are usually taking it as the impedance, and we have to find out the impedance when the value of x is equal to 0. That is, we have to find out the ratio voltage V by I at x is equal to 0. So Z is equal to, at x is equal to 0 means this point. Here the value of x is equal to 0. Here it is showing a small area, and when the value of x is equal to 0, it is here. So the value of impedance Z is equal to V by I, and substituting the above values, that is V is equal to it is equal to V plus plus V minus. The value of V is V plus plus V minus is the value of V. And in the case of I, it is V plus minus V minus. From the equations of voltage and current, we get these values of voltage and current. And from the voltage equation, we get the value for V is V plus plus V minus, divided by the from the equation of current, we get the value of I is V plus minus V minus into Z naught. The point to be noticed is that here we are trying to find out the ratio of V and I, that is V by I, and it is the impedance. And can I say that at x is equal to 0, the impedance is ZL from the figure, that is we know we are showing here the value of x is equal to 0, and at this point the value of impedance is equal to ZL. So we can say that at x is equal to 0, the impedance, the ratio of voltage by current, that is voltage and current, at x is equal to 0, it is equal to the load impedance ZL. So at x is equal to 0, the ZL is equal to Z, that is the total impedance is equal to ZL. So the value of ZL is equal to, in this equation we are taking the V plus as common, so V plus into 1 plus V minus divided by V plus, and here it is V plus into 1 minus V minus divided by V plus into Z naught. And here V minus is the amplitude of voltage wave in backward direction, and V plus is the amplitude of voltage in forward direction. So we already told that each wave has two components. One is moving in backward direction and another is moving in the forward direction. So from this equation we find a value, that is V minus divided by V plus. We have to find out what is that. So we know the voltage which travels like a wave, and that wave consists of two parts. One is the V minus and V plus, that is the amplitude of the wave which is traveled in backward direction is taken as V minus, and the amplitude of wave which traveling in forward direction is taken as V plus. And the ratio of amplitude of voltage which travels backward to the amplitude of voltage which travels in forward direction is known as the reflection coefficient. That is the ratio of voltage, the ratio of amplitude of voltage which is traveled in backward direction to the amplitude of voltage which traveled in forward direction is known as the reflection coefficient. And the reflection coefficient is denoted by the gamma, the capital letter gamma. This is shown here. It is the capital letter gamma. And we know the value of gamma, that is small letter gamma, indicates attenuation constant, and here it is capital letter gamma, it indicates the reflection coefficient. And this gamma is equal to, we know from this definition, this gamma is equal to V minus divided by V plus. And substitute this in the equation of ZL. So ZL becomes 1 plus gamma divided by 1 minus gamma into Z naught. That is, we already derived the relation for ZL, that is V plus into 1 plus V minus divided by V plus divided by V plus into 1 minus this relation 1 minus V minus divided by V plus into Z naught. In this equation we apply the value of gamma, so we get the relation like ZL is equal to 1 plus gamma divided by 1 minus gamma into Z naught. On rearranging this equation, we get the value of gamma, that is the reflection coefficient, as gamma is equal to ZL minus Z naught divided by ZL plus Z naught. This is the reflection coefficient in terms of impedance. Here ZL, we know the value of ZL is the load impedance and Z0 is the characteristics impedance. Next, we can find out the transmission coefficient in a similar way. The transmission coefficient can be denoted by tau, and that tau is equal to 2 into ZL divided by ZL plus Z0. And it is similar to the reflection coefficient. So next we have to find out the reflection coefficient in the case of a plane wave. In the case of a plane wave, the reflection coefficient gamma is equal to eta 2 divided by eta 1 divided by eta 2 plus eta 1. And in the case of a plane wave, the the transmission coefficient is tau is equal to 2 eta 2 divided by eta 2 plus eta 1. Here the eta 2 is the intrinsic impedance in second medium, that is the medium 2, and eta 1 is the intrinsic impedance of the first medium. So from this equation, on comparing these two equations are having some similarity. They are almost same. So in the case of a transmission line and in the case of a plane wave, the equation of transmission coefficient and also for the reflection coefficient having the similar equations. That is a thing to be noticed. And if I want to know what is the physical meaning of reflection coefficient, the physical meaning of a reflection coefficient is that let us consider a wave that moving in forward direction. What happened is when it's traveling in forward direction, it may happen that at some part of the wave is reflected back while traveling to the forward direction. Or we can say this by using an example. If a wave is hitting a wall, some part of the wave may pass through the wall and some may not pass through the wall, and it reflects back to the source. In transmission line also, some of the waves they reflects and some doesn't reflects. The part of the wave reflects back. From that wave part, we get the ratio, and that ratio is known as the reflection coefficient. And one important thing to be noticed is that when the value of ZL is equal to Z0, then the value of this gamma, that is a reflection coefficient, is equal to 0. That is, the condition is that when the load impedance is equal to Z0, then the value of gamma or reflection coefficient is equal to 0. This implies that the load impedance is matched with the characteristics impedance. We know the Z0 is the characteristics impedance. When the load impedance is matched with the characteristics impedance, the reflection coefficient is 0. That is, at this condition, the maximum power transfer will occur. That is, all the power from the input is transferred to the load side. Then there is no power is reflects back. So the value of reflection coefficient is 0. Reflection coefficient, it measures how many part of the wave are getting back or reflects back. So in the case of ZL is equal to Z0, the maximum power transfer will occur. That is, the power which is transferred from the source is getting to the output side, and no power is reflects back. In that case, the reflection coefficient is equal to 0. So this is about the reflection coefficient. Thank you.